Match week 8 comes to a close on this snowy night in Harriman, Utah, as the Real Monarchs host LAFC 2 from a snow-blanketed Zions Bank Stadium. Welcome in, I'm Josh Toll, and 3 points are on the line as Real Monarchs look for their first back-to-back wins of the season for LAFC 2. They look for their third straight win. Both of these teams are coming off clean sheets. For Real Monarchs, they got it by a score of 1-0 over the Whitecaps 2, and LAFC took down Timbers 2 by a score of 2-0. We'll see if that trend continues for one of these sides here as we take a look here at the standings in the Western Conference. Ventura County in that top spot. Meanwhile, LAFC 2 a win tonight, and they will leapfrog up and above Ventura County. Meanwhile, trying to make a move in the standings, Real Monarchs, a chance for them to move up to 7th with a win at home tonight. These two teams met last year. Both teams getting the win on the road by a score of 1-0. We'll see if that continues here on the road tonight for LAFC 2 in this first meeting of 3 between these two squads. We'll take a look at our starting 11. We'll begin with Mark Lowry in Real Monarchs, getting his third start of the season. Will Mackey on the year, 4 saves, 2 goals allowed on the season. Up front, you got Owen Anderson, the 16-year-old, pairing up with Xavier Gozo, the 17-year-old. We'll see how those two can connect in the midfield. A strong midfield led by Noah Kaliskin, the 23-year-old out of Cologne, Germany. Also look out for Luka Moisa, the youngster, 16 years old, in the midfield for this Real Monarchs side. Real Monarchs with 8 points on the season. Their biggest issue this year has been scoring goals, just 6 goals scored on the year. As we take a look at LAFC 2's lineup, here's what head coach Junior Gonzalez has lined up. David Ochoa wearing the captain's armband, going against the club that he grew up in Real Monarchs. Diego Rosales will get the start in midfield once again. Up front, a little different look when we have 6 different changes from last game for LAFC 2. You're going to see some new faces, but one of the familiar ones, Weibo, who scored in last week's win against Timbers 2. He'll get the start up front on the left side. Darbo will start on the right. Flores will be that central attacker here this evening for LAFC 2. LAFC now in 3rd in the standings. They began the week in 2nd, but with St. Louis getting the win, they're now in that 2nd spot in the standings. Real Monarchs, you look at them tonight without Omar Alba, out due to a suspension for a red card. Our referees tonight, our head referee, Muhammad Hassan, our first assistant, Charles Rupert, our second, Benjamin Davis, our fourth, Kirsten Gilwald. All referees wearing blue wristbands this month to recognize Huntington's disease awareness, to honor a former colleague who passed away from it. So that's been going around, not just here in MLS Next Pro, but MLS and around with various other leagues. As both teams come out to the pitch, we'll see how this weather plays a factor with it just being in the 30s. Luckily, the snow has stopped, though. But you have to wonder for LAFC 2, some of these kids, 16 years old, 17 years old, this weather could be a big factor, maybe even for some, might have never even seen snow. For Real Monarchs, obviously, they've trained in this, they know it, they're used to the cold, they'll try to take advantage, and this will be a home field advantage, very much so, for Real Monarchs tonight here. Real Monarchs come down to 4-4-2. LAFC will come out there 4-3-3. LAFC will be in the all-white kits tonight. Meanwhile, the Real Monarchs in the blues. Real Monarchs looking for their 3rd win of the year. Meanwhile, LAFC, one of the surprise teams, looking for their 5th win of the season. 15-minute delay to begin this game due to them clearing off the snow. Both teams came out, checked the field, thought it was good to go, and so here we are. Orange ball out tonight. It does play a factor when you have the weather like this and the snow around. And we are underway from Zions Bank Stadium in Herman, Utah. Real Monarchs hosting LAFC 2. First meeting of 3 between these two sides. Josh Toll here with you this evening to close out match week number 8 in MLS Next Pro. Should be an exciting one. You go back to a game that just finished. North Texas remaining undefeated as they got the 2-0 win over Sporting Kansas City on the road. You look at this LAFC side, still looking for that first road win of the season. They are perfect at home. Meanwhile, Real Monarchs at home, 2 wins on the year, 1 loss and 1 draw. This ball played forward. Both these coaches excited for this game. Talking with Junior Gonzalez about it. One of the keys being able to stay organized and compact. They have to be good in transitional moments. Talking about how Real Monarchs, they have pieces that will hurt you and they have speed that they can use. He looked at this Real Monarchs side, said they've not scored as much as they've created. They're going to have to try to limit the opportunities tonight and be efficient in how we play through and over them. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Mark Lowry, talking about LAFC, how they've had a great start to the season. Really, their club mirroring what the first team does, how they attack. Very much have a lot of talented players, created good synergy between the first and second team. But he talked about Real Monarchs will have to be able to break the press and play through it against LAFC. They have to be compact in the middle, can't leave their sixes exposed. Numerical support through the midfield is what they need, but they'll have to take their chances and especially improve in the final third and execute in building out and breaking their press. Even Junior Gonzalez talking about this Real Monarchs side. They've created opportunities, they just haven't capitalized on them. Mark Lowry is saying that really comes down to that final pass and being better with that to create that opportunity, having better decision making in the attacking third. These players need to know when to make that final pass. Feels like that last step is just breaking down. Here's Bombino, 17 years old, out of Santa Clarita, California. You see the ball just slip out of his hands on that throw-in. So we're already maybe the weather playing a factor. You have to wonder, cold hands, if we'll see some gloves out on some of these various LAFC players. You have to wonder maybe if that was what happened for Bombino. It just slipped, holding on to the cold ball. A chance here on a set piece now for LAFC. Let's see what they can draw up here. Thomas Musto, the 20-year-old, to send it in. Right-footed ball. This will go all the way out of play. And we'll have a corner here for LAFC. LAFC have won 2 in a row, looking for that 3rd straight win. Scored the 11th most goals on the season so far. They have 12 on the year. Musto places the ball down. The service, back post, headed away. Still an opportunity here for LAFC to be creative. Attacking the end line, little hesitation, the crossover. And this will be deflected out of play by Tommy Silva. Tommy Silva grew up in the Real Salt Lake Academy before going to college at UCLA. Look at what he did his junior and senior seasons with 8 assists. Now back to the club that he knows best. When you look at earlier this season, LAFC's first team playing in Minnesota in a snow game. So now it's only fitting that the second team does as well. Here's in the Rocky Mountains, no strangers snow. Nare, one of those 6 changes coming in, getting the start here at the left center back position. Bombino trying to go outside in on that pass, but is stolen away and now played forward. Maybe an opportunity for Flores. No, we're going to have a foul against LAFC. Look at both these coaches in their first seasons with their respective clubs, but coaching experience, different parts. Mark Lowry coming over from Indy 11. Meanwhile, last year, Junior Gonzalez with Chicago as an assistant coach. Does have familiarity in the Los Angeles area as he was a longtime member LA Galaxy. Redzik will play it out wide. Farnsworth. Here's Storley. Villa. Back to Storley. See that press here by LAFC2, trying to win the ball back as they do. Bombino plays it inside. Musto, nice little through ball. Offside flag, though, was up. Great run right there by Bajung Narbo. Parker John gives the ball up. Long ball going diagonal. Tracking back is Romero. Here's Ochoa. Ochoa wearing the captain's armband. Ochoa, solid season so far for LAFC2. 12 saves on the year, has allowed 4 goals. Going against his former club with the Real Monarchs. 2018 to 20, and then he was also with Real Salt Lake, spent some time with the first team. So now Barker John will head over to the corner. Great job by the Real Monarchs ground crew and plowing the snow off the field to get this game ready to go. Good conditions on the field. Ball played in from the top of the area, and that one punched over by Ochoa. Great shot attempt right there coming from Luka Moisa. The 16-year-old giving a great first touch right there. That had some pace behind it. Another corner here now for Real Monarchs. Inward swinging ball. Near post. Great save there by Ochoa. Talking with Junior Gonzalez about this team and their ability to prevent teams from scoring. 5th fewest goals allowed, but really collectively really trying to implement what is working game in and game out. They have a model and a phase on how they approach defending zone 1 close to the goal, zone 2 in that midfield part of the field, and zone 3 on the high press. Really trying to build each week on how they defend in those zones and in different scenarios. Really likes the cohesiveness that he's seen from the guys that come down from the first team as well as the academy players, really gelling. Really talked about protecting the middle of the field and see if they can press high and close games out. Still have a lot of improvement, but here you see that high press once again. Kalskin. Redzik down the line. A chance here for Real Monarchs to charge up the field. Here's Anderson. Anderson looking to connect with Barker John. Just on the edge of the area. Maybe a chance here, and that's going to trickle through for the opening goal of the game for Real Monarchs. Tommy Silva getting his squad on the scoreboard first here in the 10th minute. Here, yeah, the poor clearance. It gets to the feet of Silva, creates a little space at the top of the area, and then just a nice left-footed shot that gets by Ochoa. First goal for Tommy Silva, a player that grew up in the academy, getting his first goal of the season. Yeah, the giveaway is Bombino nearly stole it away. Just couldn't collect it in. And you look at the slight delay as well, and 10 minutes into the game, Tommy Silva gets Real Monarchs on the board. Romero out wide. Here's Shakir Nixon. He'll go up the line. Well, talking with Mark Lowry about Tommy Silva, really feels that he's a player that's been getting better every game, showing improvement. Talking about how he's a player that asks the right question, loves to watch video as well, has that growth mindset, always asking what he can do differently. Very coachable player, changing different things each week. Talked about how he struggled in certain areas, but he's been able to work on it and fix it. Just adding different layers here early into the season, but wants to learn and doesn't take things negatively when he gets criticism. That's a huge thing for young players. He very much has that attitude of how to get better. Talked about how Silva is a very driven and intelligent player, has a clear focus on what he wants to do, and that's get to the first team. Well, he has a clarity of mind about how he's going to go about it here professionally. Nare goes up to midfield. Storley will hold it up in the circle. Played back by Villa. Here's Will Mackey. Will Mackey getting his third start of the season. Does have 4 saves on the year. This ball sent across and deflected out, and a corner coming once again for LAFC 2. The delivery, back post. You look at that Tommy Silva goal. It had been over a month since a Real Monarch player had scored a goal. You have to go back to the win against Minnesota on March 27th. Silva now just the 4th player to score for Real Monarchs. Real Monarchs getting the win against Vancouver, but it was by an own goal in the 1-0 victory. Could have had another goal, but were denied on a penalty kick. That's got to be a great thing to see if you're a fan of this Real Monarchs team, as well as a player. That's just going to boost confidence here. Bambino will play it in. This time, much better throw. Last time it slipped out of his hands. Bambino loses possession. Romero will play back to Ochoa. Over to Romero. Nare. Bambino. Chopped down by Storley. Storley able to get on top. Storley. Here's Villa. Kalskin. Headed up in the air in a battle for it as Silva's just going to let it roll out of play. Diagonal ball. Rebo, little crossover. Gives it to no one in particular that he was trying to pass to on his team. Just miscommunication as Kalskin was just waiting for that pass. Loisa. Anderson charging. Has numbers ahead. Goes out wide. Redzik. Moisa to Villa. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Intermountain Health, the power of we. Kalskin. Patience here from Real Monarchs as they try to break that high press. Villa. He is 16 years old, dual citizenship with Mexico and USA. He's appeared for both U.S. and Mexico's youth national sides at the age of 15. See both these squads littered with different players that have dual nationality that have represented, whether it's USA, Mexico, Romania. As this ball is played inside to Barker John. First of 3 meetings for these two teams. They'll play at LAFC August 4th, and then again in the City of Angels, September 23rd. Last year was the road teams getting the win. They just met 2 times last season. Real Monarchs currently playing their second of 3 straight home games, looking for their first back-to-back wins of the year. Another big thing that they're looking for is multiple goals. They've just scored multiple goals in 2 games so far this season. Still early, though, as we're at the quarter way of the mark here, 7 games in. Look at LAFC. How about Luis Mueller leading the team in scoring with 4 goals, now getting a first-team contract that he signed on Friday through the end of the season. He'll require an international roster spot, but you just look at the success that he had right here in MLS Next Pro, helping him elevate himself to the first team. So he appeared in 2 games for LAFC's first side. Bambino in the channel. Crossing on the ground, tapped away. This will go out of play for a throw for LAFC too. No, they're going to say it wasn't touched by Mackey. Well, Mackey got a piece of it with his right hand, but Real Monarchs here, 8 new players to this year's roster, 3 of them homegrown, 5 from the outside coming in. Look at Izzy Amparo, Omar Marquez, and Gio Villa, the homegrown players that have joined the club. And here is Villa. Steps around 1 defender, but can't get by Bambino. Bowo in the corner here once again for LAFC. Third corner of the game for LAFC. Musto plays it in. Plays it deep. Silva giving chase for Real Monarchs. Nare, the 20-year-old. All right, last season with North Texas before making his way to LAFC. Musto. Chance here possibly for Flores, and he's going to have the easy tap in. Mackey was off his line, and Flores makes him pay and throws the snow into air to celebrate. Second goal of the season for Flores. Nice little long ball ahead. There you see Mackey coming out, misjudges it, and Flores makes him pay.
Number 39, Leonardo Flores.
So Flores with the second goal of the year. He also scored against Minnesota. Last season he had 6 goals for LAFC 2. That was a beautiful long ball that was misjudged. And then Mackey coming off his line couldn't slow down Flores. Goals now on the season for LAFC 2. One of the big surprises this year in MLS Next Pro. The other one also from the state of California in Ventura County. Look at Ventura County last year, last in the Western Conference. Musto gives it up. Boa, goes back side of the net for the second goal for LAFC in the span of a minute. Back-to-back weeks with a goal for Adrian Wibowo. Wibowo doing a good job just going back post. Little shiver, a little shibby, and a little bit of a celebration. Things got going there quickly for LAFC 2. First it was Flores in the 21st minute, then it was Wibowo in the 22nd minute. Third goal of the year for Wibowo. This portion of tonight's match is presented by America First, the official credit union of Real Salt Lake. America's First has game-changing solutions for every financial need. So join the winning team today at americafirst.com. Look at this LAFC side last year. I was mentioning their struggles. Finished 13th in the Western Conference. Right below them was Ventura County. But both teams making a difference. And really the biggest change for LAFC 2 this year is their ability to score the ball. Now 14 goals on the season. They're just as strong as a defensive team as they were last year. But now they're creating and they're executing in the attacking third, and that has been a huge change under the direction of Junior Gonzalez. You look at older players being brought in, but a lot of these young teenagers finding success here early in the season. Last year, you go back for LAFC 2, third fewest goals scored in the league with just 33. Already halfway to that mark. Redzik pushing up, dispossessed the ball and sent forward by LAFC 2. Via tracking back. Giveaway here by Real Monarchs. Let's see what LAFC can do with it this time. Here's Flores, who scored the first goal for LAFC. Gonzalez. Talking to Junior Gonzalez about this team and what they've been able to do in terms of scoring multiple goals Really, it's been a large reason, the ability to run behind the back line and find that final pass, expose the space, and recognize the time and the edge at breaking lines, creating actions and getting numbers behind the ball. I also mentioned some of the good restart goals that they've had, as well as just individual effort alone. They've been able to create opportunities in training, getting much better at finishing, and that's showing. You look at what LAFC 2 has now done with their second goal of the game. They've now scored multiple goals in 5 of these first 7 games of the season. Musto. Bambino. Back to midfield. Here's the 17-year-old Romero. One of those other players with dual citizenship can represent USA or Mexico. Nice little back heel, but it's stolen away. And now Real Monarchs just having issues getting out of their defensive third. Nixon. We had 4 games in total today here to close out match week 8 on this Sunday. Toronto falling at home to Columbus Crew 2 by a score of 3-1. Philadelphia Union shutting out Huntsville by a score of 2-0. Sporting KC hosting North Texas, the lone remaining undefeated team in MLS Next Pro, and it was North Texas getting a 2-0 win in that one. Malachi Molina with a near hat trick as he finished the game with a brace. 5 straight weeks we've had a hat trick here in MLS Next Pro, and Molina nearly had one here tonight. Just continue to see the success from around the league with various players. Boy, so we'll play it out. Storley. Farnsworth. Gozo will retreat. Moisa. Collision there, and that will draw the whistle. Tommy Silva got things going for Real Monarchs in the 10th minute. And 11 minutes later, it'll be Leonardo Flores with the first goal for LAFC 2. Then a minute later, it will be Adrian Wibowo getting a goal in the 22nd minute. Silva thought he had the go-ahead, and some pushing and shoving at the top of the 18. The service from Silva. Gonzalez. Bambino switching sides. Looking for Nixon. This portion of the match is brought to you by Zion's Bank, official bank of Real Monarchs. Talking to Mark Lowry about this Real Monarchs team, still working on that consistency and making strides in possession and how they want to possess the ball, control and try to provoke the opposition and play through them. Trying to find different ways here to do that tonight against this LAFC side. But he's really liked what his back line has done as Kalskin is the player down for Real Monarchs. Also is very complimentary of his sixes. But did mention the biggest issue is finishing in that final third, but maybe that goal earlier by Silva will help jumpstart the scoring for Real Monarchs. Villa. Kalskin. Farnsworth. Here's Villa. Barker John couldn't get around the third defender, but Moisa able to recover it for Real Monarchs. Redzik. From distance, stopped by Ochoa as he makes the diving save. Here's Silva. Back post. Via. Farnsworth. They go up the middle. Kalskin. Farnsworth goes outside. Good idea there on the 1-2 combination play. Great shot attempt here, but Ochoa up for the challenge. Silva. Storley. MLS Season Pass is the place to catch LAFC 2's next game. Check it out May 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern when they take on Whitecaps 2. Bambino pops it up into the sky. Storley there. Villa bodied off the ball. LAFC 2 looking for their first road win of the season. Perfect at home on the year, 4-0. Storley pops it to the opposite touchline. Farnsworth. Redzik gets by one defender and then gets his jersey grabbed. Anderson. Barker John. Back with him is Bambino. The idea there by Barker John, but a heavy first touch from Owen Anderson, the 16-year-old. Fans, you don't have to wait long for Week 9 of MLS Next Pro. It starts Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern when Orlando City B hosts league-leading goal scorer Rold Mitchell, and Red Bulls 2 will have all the action from Osceola County Stadium for you on MLSNextPro.com. Rold Mitchell, of course, leading the league with 8 goals on the season. He had 4 against Chicago. You also go back to that game against Chicago. Harold Osorio with the fastest hat trick within 8 minutes. Osorio getting that done in 8 minutes, but Rold Mitchell finishing the game with 4 goals. He had a hat trick in 14 minutes. It was just a couple weeks ago. And we've gone 5 straight weeks with a hat trick here in MLS Next Pro. Could see that trend here continue tonight. Thought it might continue in the Sporting Kansas City game for North Texas and Malachi Molina, who finished with a brace. So Damian Barker-John will head over to the far corner. Barker-John, the 37th overall pick in this year's MLS Super Draft out of Louisville, where he was all ACC, 9 goals, 3 assists. Does have 2 goals on the season as he plays this ball in. Barker-John still looking for his first assist of the year. Barker-John. Musto, wait, that hit off his hand, and there is the whistle. Barker-John lining up. Drives it over Ochoa. Trying to catch the keeper off balance and off his line. Don't mind that attempt right there from Barker-John. Ochoa to retreat. It's too much power.
Okay, thank you.
Ochoa. Storley. Farnsworth. Kalskin in the circle. He'll exit. Goes right up the spine. Barker-John crossing. Ochoa knocks away, and then they tap in. Comes for Real Monarchs, Benji Redzik. 40th minute, and Redzik equalizes for Real Monarchs. Ochoa knocks the ball away, and Redzik in the perfect position to get his first goal of the season. Redzik's first goal for Real Monarchs as well. Well, the snow might have delayed this game about 15 minutes, but it has not disappointed here in the opening 45 minutes of play. 4 goals between these two sides. Real Monarchs got it going in the 10th minute with a Tommy Silva goal. And then it was back-to-back goals by LAFC 2. It was Flores, then Wibowo. And then Redzik here in the 41st minute. Silva turns away. Third time this season now for Real Monarchs that they've scored multiple goals in a game. They also did it against Minnesota, against Whitecaps too as well. And that was one of the big things they were working on. And right now it's paying off. Nare. Ochoa. Romero. Moisa. Farnsworth will slow it down at the moment. Storley. There's that press once again by LAFC. Forcing the turnover. About 3 minutes away at a half. We'll have highlights and stats from the first 45 minutes of play. And Michelle will take us to St. Louis in this week's edition of the report. Moisa. Silva on the outside. Nixon will just usher this out of play. Moisa. Maybe a chance here late for Real Monarchs to add to their goal total. Nice action here. Anderson! Great combination play right there, but Anderson sent it wide of the frame. Just a nice little soft touch right there by Barker John, finding Anderson on the return pass. Bambino. Nare. Chance maybe late. Sent away by LAFC 2. It goes right there waiting for that ball to fall to his feet. Moisa. Barker John. Two defenders on him, able to get by one of them. Plays it to the spot. Nice little draw pass there by Rezic. Finding Owen Anderson.
Will be added to the first half.
We'll have 3 minutes of stoppage time added on here. Ebowo. Bambino. The cross. Sent away by Storley. I like the idea there by Darbo, but too heavy of a touch. Kaliskin into the circle. Barker John gonna go through the legs there. Bombino unable to do so. Storley back. Mackey. Farnsworth. The Monarchs looking like they will try to hold on to the possession here and just take this to the break. Silva down the line, maybe one last push here for Real Monarchs. Look at this game. Tommy Silva got the goal scoring going in the 10th minute. Then it was Flores for LAFC in the 21st minute. Wibowo in the 22nd minute for LAFC 2. And then Redzik in the 41st minute would knot things up here at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. Our score at the half is Real Monarchs 2, LAFC 2. Coming up, Michelle visits St. Louis when we come back after a short break.
Messi! La pelota para que llegue. It's contact and a shot goal. Mamita querida, qué golazo! Magnifique frappe. Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta al derecho. Servicio. El tiro. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega, golazo. Amor al gol. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho.
Welcome back. Our halftime score is Real Monarchs 2, LAFC 2. Michelle Montaigne wound up in St. Louis this week and has this week's edition of The Report.
The shot. Oh, it's brilliant. They found an equalizer. They get a second to fully seal it. Glasgow!
We kick off the month of May from America's heartland. We're here in the gateway to the West. I'm Michelle Montaigne joining you from beautiful City Park. Now we have a lot to get to from here in the Midwest, but first we start with another historic milestone for MLS Next Pro. For the first time ever, 2 independent clubs competed in the first ever independent derby. Chattanooga FC hosted Carolina Core in front of nearly 4,000 fans, and Jesus Ibarra gave those fans something to cheer about early on, scoring the opener just 7 minutes into the match. Milo Garvanian added the insurance goal for the home side with his first ever professional goal. And with the win, CFC moves into first place in the Eastern Conference. Post-game, Rod Underwood discussed the significance of these 3 points.
We knew coming into this game it was about getting through this game. We knew that we needed to, look, I know the coach, I know the coaching staff. I knew they were prepared, and they were prepared. I knew it was going to be a difficult game, but there's no easy games in our league.
Let's take a look now at Chattanooga FC's upcoming schedule. The month of May kicks off with CFC hosting Orlando City B on May 4th. Then they'll have back-to-back matches on the road. Inter Miami on May 10th, followed by Crown Legacy on May 15th. They close out the month at home versus Atlanta United 2 on May 25th. As for the visitors, Carolina Core has just 3 more games to go on the road before their home opener on Saturday, June 1st versus Huntsville City FC. Make sure you mark that one on your calendars. From a first ever match between 2 independent clubs, we now shift gears to another MLS Next Pro first. Trailing 2-1 in extra time, Eric Hernandez scored his first professional goal in the 91st minute to equalize for Ventura County FC. His late-game heroics kept the club atop the West and helped them sit at the top of the league with their 16 total points. Afterward, Hernandez described the feeling following his first pro goal.
Like that situation, I mean, I just saw the opportunity and just went for it. I mean, I saw teammates open, but some people... Yeah, something told me to just hit it and, you know, thanking God for this opportunity. So, anything for the win.
Sticking with the goals theme, this week a couple guys scored them in bunches. For the 5th consecutive week, there was a hat-trick performance across the league, and this time, once again, it wasn't just one player achieving the feat. Gerardo Valenzuela not only netted his first 3-goal performance, but the first hat-trick in FC Cincinnati's 3rd season. After scoring in his MLS Next Pro debut last week, he tripled his production in week 2.
We have a very good group of guys, you know, starting or even off the bench. So, yeah, I feel like this year is a very good year for the second team. We knew they were undefeated, and we just wanted to make them defeated, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wanted to beat them, take them off the undefeated board.
For Cameron Habibullah, what's more impressive than a hat trick is posting your second 3-goal outing in a span of 3 weeks. Habibullah now has 7 goals in the month of April and has SKC2 leading the league in goals for, but still gives credit to the group around him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful that I was able to get it, but to be honest, I don't pay too much attention to the individual stuff. I'd rather win the game as a team, play as a team, and yeah, that was the highlight of the day, just the 3 points.
With 7 goals in April alone, Habibullah sits in 2nd place in the Golden Boot race, and no, it's not too early to talk about it. It's never too early to look at who's lighting up the league. New York Red Bulls 2's Roald Mitchell sits in sole first with 8 goals through 5 MLS Next Pro matches. Harold Osorio sits at 6, while a handful of players each have 4 on the season. Somebody's not just paying attention to the goals this season, but form overall. St. Louis City's Lutz Pfannenstiel, the sporting director of the club. And Lutz, I mean, this place has quickly turned into one of the best atmospheres in the entire league. What has made this club so special so quickly?
I mean, the infrastructure, as you said, is pretty cool. I mean, I think we have the most modern facility in the country. Training facility just around the corner here as well, right in the city center. So I think that's really unique to have everything at one place in the heart of the town as well. And of course the success we had in year one, the success we had in year two in the Next Pro as well, but especially also building an academy in a city which has so much soccer culture made it a pretty unique opportunity, I think, for everybody. So far so good, but still a lot to do.
Thanks so much, Lutz. We're excited to see how far you guys go this season. And speaking of things we are excited about, there are a lot of other things making noise around MLS Next Pro right now. Some of the guys who starred in this league are now making their names known with their first team clubs. Former MLS Next Pro MVP and Golden Boot winner Jason Russell Rowe netted Cruz game winner in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup semifinal against Monterrey. Columbus would then follow up their first leg win with a 3-1 victory in the second leg, with the former Capybara Russell Rowe finding the back of the net once again. In MLS action, Inter Miami's Benjamin Cremaschi scored his first goal of the season against the Revolution in front of a record crowd in New England, and U.S. men's youth national team member David Vasquez capped off the highlights by inking a homegrown deal with Philadelphia Union. Now, some of those names earned their fair share of monthly awards during their time in MLS Next Pro. Now it's time to shine the light on our April award winners for this year. Newcomer Chattanooga FC takes home Team of the Month honors. After winning Player of the Week twice in April, Cameron Habibullah takes home Player of the Month, while Benny Feilhaber takes home Coach of the Month, both representing Sporting Kansas City too. For the second straight month, Edward Davis is recognized as your rising star, having co-won the award in March. And taking home goalkeeper honors is Ventura County FC's Brady Scott, an award his coach Matt Taylor thinks he's more than worthy of.
I think it's great for Brady. He has put together some really good performances and is a great asset to his team, both on and off the field. His leadership and the way he mentors the younger players has really helped the team to this point so far in the season.
The standout performances from these guys in the month of April is a big reason why each of their clubs has landed in the top 10 of our MLS Next Pro Power Rankings. Ventura County FC tops the list once again, with the other SoCal team, LAFC 2, taking the second spot. Chattanooga FC rounds out the top 3, and the team that plays right here in City Park finishes out our top 10. You can get a full breakdown of this week's Power Rankings, and as always, stay up with everything happening around the league at MLSNextPro.com. That does it for this episode of The Report. We'll see you soon from the City of Brotherly Love.
We are tied at 2 apiece here at the break between LAFC 2 and the host Real Monarchs as we take a look at the scores from earlier this week. Colorado Rapids falling to Austin FC. It's just the second win of the season for the defending champs. St. Louis City 2 getting the win over Minnesota United. They have now they're now unbeaten in their last 6 games. Then you go on to Saturday, New England Revolution handing Chicago Fire their first loss of the season. For Chattanooga, they would get the extra point in the shootout against Orlando City B, but match week 9 starting up right on Wednesday. Orlando City B hosting New York Red Bulls Crown Legacy, taking on New England Revolution. Houston Dynamo still looking for their first win of the season as they head on here to take on Real Monarchs in Harriman, Utah. But here after 45 minutes of play, Real Monarchs 2, Los Angeles Football Club 2. Highlights and stats when we return.
Dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Para Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Aldrete. Servicio. It's saved by Carlos Corona. Con autoridad. Centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho. Saved by Canada. It's over.
45 minutes down at Zions Bank Stadium, and we are all tied up at 2 apiece between Real Monarchs and LAFC 2 as we take a look back at the first half highlights. In the first 45 minutes, that did not disappoint. Snow was falling before the game. Grounds crew doing a great job in clearing off this field to make it playable here this evening. Here, Real Monarchs would get a great opportunity here by Tommy Silva with a left foot, just sneaks it by the outstretched arm of David Ochoa for the opening goal. That coming in the 10th minute of play, but LAFC, they get the long ball going up to Flores. Missed time there by Mackey, who comes off his line, and the easy touch by Flores to put it in for the opening goal in the 21st minute for LAFC, and they would not be done. Wibowo goes back right corner to get the second goal he has now scored in back-to-back games for LAFC. And then great save by Ochoa right there. The ball crossed in, tapped away, but Redzik waiting just with the easy tap in for Real Monarchs to tie this game up at 2 apiece. Here, a great chance at the end for Real Monarchs, Owen Anderson, but sent it wide. What will the second 45 minutes have in store for us? We will find out here at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah, as Real Monarchs host LAFC 2. Great first 45 minutes. Now we'll see what the second 45 has for us as we get the go-ahead here by our head referee, Mohammed Hassan. This ball played over the top. Hassan and the other referees around MLS Next Pro wearing blue wristbands this month to recognize Huntington's disease awareness to honor their former colleague who passed away from it.
For LAFC 2, leaving the match, number 55, Bajang Darbo. Entering the match, number 70, Matt Evans.
So Matt Evans will come in for Bajang Darbo.
32, Xavier Gozo, and number 33, Tommy Silva. Entering the match, number 27, Bertine Jacqueson.
So Bertine Jacqueson will come in. Luis Rivera will also come in for Real Monarchs. So the two... So the 2 subs for Real Monarchs and the 1 for LAFC. Luis Rivera, 16 years old for Real Monarchs, the second youngest signing at 15 years, 1 month, and 5 days. Team Jackson also in, as Jackson will come in for Xavier Gozo. Here's Evans, the man who subbed on. Over to Nixon on the overlap. The crossover. Storley right there to repel it away. Nixon. Evans. Chance here on a free kick now for Musto and company. Evans to the right, Musto to the left of the ball. Evans does have a goal on the season. He scored against St. Louis City 2. Musto drives it. Good strike there by Musto. Right of the frame.
It was the only one that I remember.
Musto still looking for that first goal of the season. Look at both these coaches in their first season with their respective clubs. Talking to each one about some of the things that they're trying to bring over, and talking with Mark Lowry, just more competition as well. Definitely wants to develop these players, but he wants to bring that competitive atmosphere each day, create an environment to get better on the field as well as humans, but they must be competitors. No place is a given, and they have to fight for it every day. Talked about getting to the next level. It's dog eat dog, and you have to win the fights here first before you advance up to that first team. And you can see that fight that Real Monarchs have in them there just in the first half alone to get back into this and get the late equalizer before the break from Redzik. Meanwhile, talking to Junior Gonzalez about some of the values and his non-negotiables that he wants his club to have. You have to put in the work. Effort must be there. Got to be open to learn and communication. As this time it's pushed away by Mackey. Did a full-on diving header. Evans was waiting for the ball. This time Mackey did not make the mistake like he did in the first half. He was sure that he got to the ball first. Going back to some of those non-negotiables for Junior Gonzalez. Open to learn and communication, needs that open mindset. Respect the environment and how we respect one another. Respect the club. Talked about how they have a leadership group in place. Some of those players, they got players like Ochoa, who got the start tonight, Wibowo, Musto, Flores, Rosales, to name a few. They got a good core group that they meet with every couple of weeks. They'll also meet with the younger players and let them know what they want individually as LAFC looks to strike first here in the second half. The shot, and this one just tipped over, but offside flag was up. Redzik getting his first goal. Redzik, he's got both the USA and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Youth level for both sides. Handful of players with dual citizenship on both clubs. LAFC coming into the game looking for their first road win of the season. Real Monarchs looking for their third win at home. Nixon, the player down for LAFC 2. '18-year-old able to walk off under his own power. And Barker John by the ball. Barker John plays it in. Nice ball in. Header over the crossbar there for Real Monarchs. That was one of the things head coach Junior Gonzalez talked about this Real Monarchs side. He said that they've been able to create opportunities, should have more goals than they've shown. Tonight, Real Monarchs, they've been able to capitalize. One of the main themes by Mark Lowry talking about tonight was finishing in that final third, being better on those final passes. Nixon. Nixon. He'll play back. Ochoa. Romero. Pressured there by Jackelson. Jackelson seeing time with the first team. Jefferson, former 16th overall pick back in 2023 out of the University of Pittsburgh. Last year he had 6 goals. Mackey. LAFC too, picking and choosing when they want to go direct on those long balls. Nixon heads it away. Evans will drop it back. Rosales. Romero. Nixon will work his way inside. Nare. Bambino. Here's Musto. Evans and Nixon just not on the same page right there. You can see Evans saying what he wanted to do on that run. Nixon though playing down the line as opposed to inside towards the 18-yard box.
That shirt I stole from you.
Kalskin sends it high into the air. Real Monarchs side looking for their first back-to-back wins of the season, looking for their 3rd win of the year overall. Meanwhile, LAFC 2 looking for their 3rd straight victory. First of 3 meetings between these two sides. They have more goals than both games combined last year. Just 2 in total scored last year between the two sides, both road wins by a score of 1-0. Anderson out wide. Barker John tripped up, and we'll have a foul and a set piece opportunity here for Real Monarchs, and we'll have our first yellow of the game as well.
Yellow card caution, LAFC 2, number 77, Adrian Wabowo.
So Wabowo handed the yellow card. Wabowo last week scored the 2nd goal for LAFC, does the same thing this week so far. The service played in. Kalskin. Looping ball. Barker John to the end line. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Intermountain Health, the power of we. Last year these two teams met those 2 times. This year they'll meet 3 in total. Both the next 2 games in the City of Angels. They'll play on August 4th as well as September 23rd. Nixon looking for Evans, the lone sub so far for LAFC 2. Redzig trying to avoid trouble. Scoop pass to Kalskin. Redzig able to get by 1 defender. Nice ball forward. Jacqueline. Musto. Nice ball forward to Evans. Evans an opportunity. Goes up and over. And LAFC now 3 goals in the game. And it's the substitute, Matt Evans. Second goal of the season for the 17-year-old. Evans just going up and over Mackey to get the 3rd goal of the game for LAFC 2. Couple goals coming via the long ball here tonight for LAFC 2. Gorgeous night in Harriman, Utah. Snow falling before the game. LAFC on the road, taking the lead here in the 59th minute of the second half. Redzik, good ball forward. Rivera to the back post. Sent away by Bombino. Off of Nixon. Kalskin. Redzik. Chance here on the counter for LAFC. Let's see what they can do. Bombino. More pass that was intended for Musto, but Redzik there for Real Monarchs. Rivera. Nice ball there by Rivera for Jacqueline, and this will roll into the hands of Ochoa. Just one yellow card handed out so far to Ibowo, and we'll see if we get another one here. And it looks like we will not.
Monarchs substitution in the 61st minute. Leaving the match, number 45, Benj Redzik. Entering the match for the Monarchs, number 12, Matthew Bell.
So Matthew Bell now into the game. And Redzik will go off. Redzik scoring in the 41st minute. His first goal of the season. Anderson striding forward, trying to get around Nixon, unable to do so. Rosales. Talking to Junior Gonzalez about Diego Rosales, the 18-year-old competitor, someone that's been with the club since the age of 12, really embodies what this LAFC team wants to do and what they're about. Even at the young age of 18, a good leader and plays multiple positions, has integrated well with the first team. I really feel that Rosales has all the intangibles. I like the way he's progressed so far. Really excited about what he brings to the field. Mention that leadership group, Rosales being one of those younger players that Junior Gonzalez mentioned. Of course, you look at one of those players, Luis Mueller, who's now signed with the first team, signed on Friday. Leads the team with 4 goals. So he'll take up an international spot, being that he's from Germany, for the first team. But earning that first team contract right here. Here's Bell. Musto. Evans, the goal scorer. Matt Evans subbed on for Darbo. Scoring in the 58th minute. Variety of scorers this season for LAFC. Mentioned the lack of goals for this Real Monarchs. That's going to be a clear foul by Rosales. Bell's jersey nearly coming off how it was outstretched.
Yellow card caution LA. Number 43, Diego Rosales.
Matthew Bell was one of the players that Junior Gonzalez talked about that they have to worry his ability on the field. And maybe that's why Rosales there, a little tug of the jersey. Look at Real Monarchs. For possible back-to-back wins for LAFC, just the 1 loss on the season, that coming to Tacoma Defiance. You also look at LAFC, the only team to take down Ventura County so far this year. Ochoa will play it out. Five of 7 games now for LAFC that they've scored in multiple games.
Substitution in the 65th minute. Leaving the match for LA, number 48, Tamir Ratovas. Entering the match, number 81, Charlie Rosenthal.
Charlie Rosenthal now in. Right if it's off. Rivera loses possession, just got his foot stuck on the ball. Look at Real Monarchs with the 2 goals in this game. It had been over a month since the last Real Monarch player scored. That going back in the win against Minnesota back on March 27th. They've scored 2 this evening. They've been dangerous there in the attacking third here tonight. Let's see what they can do right here. Bell will work his way into the circle. Offside flag is up here against Flores. Real Monarch side last year, it was Elijah Paul that led the team in scoring with 5 goals. Not on the roster this evening. Rivera. That's going to be the big question. Who are going to be the players that produce the goals going forward here for Real Monarchs? Players that have proven it at the academy level. And also look at different players, older ones that they've brought in, whether it be from another club or through the college ranks. It's just a matter of putting it all together. Here's one of those players that they feel can, in Jacqueline. And a corner now for Real Monarchs. Jacqueline, one of those players last year, was able to produce, the former 16th overall pick. Scored 19 goals while at the University of Pittsburgh. Fourth corner of the game here for Real Monarchs. Be an inward swinging ball. Played on the ground. Parker John. Just over 20 minutes remains. This portion of tonight's match is presented by America's First, the official credit union of Real Salt Lake. America First has game-changing solutions for every financial need, so join the winning team today at americafirst.com. Musto. Nixon. Bell. Bell's been active on the ball since he subbed on. Final game of 4 today here in MLS Next Pro to close out match week 8. Toronto earlier falling at home to Columbus Crew by a score of 3-1. Philadelphia Union 2 getting the shutout win over Huntsville by a score of 2-0. North Texas remains undefeated. The lone team to be undefeated as they got a win against Sporting Kansas City 2. That was Malachi Molina with a brace for North Texas. This one's still unfinished. But match week 9, that begins right away on Wednesday. Let's look at what's going on here for New York City FC 2. As they've advanced in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, they will face Colorado Springs Switchbacks on Wednesday night in the round of 32. How about St. Louis City 2 right now? They've extended their unbeaten streak to 6 games, lost their home opener, and they've been dominant since. Also have the other surprises from around MLS Next Pro, of course, LAFC, as well as Ventura County being the 2 big ones here in the Western Conference in terms of where they were last year in the table. LAFC finishing 13th, Ventura County finishing in dead last, now both 2 at the top of the table in the Western Conference. You also look at Colorado Rapids, too. Last year they were top of the Western Conference, right now in 12th. So what a difference a year makes. You can look at the same side for the Eastern Conference and Crown Legacy. Last year, first, top of the table. This year, 12th. Jacqueline crossing it. Not sure if that was a cross or if that was a shot to the back post. Bell was making a run down the middle. Choa just letting that go by. 5 straight weeks of hat tricks coming into this weekend. Look at Cameron Habibula, 2 hat tricks in the month of April, 7 goals in total for Sporting Kansas City 2. Team of the month was Chattanooga FC. Bell will play this back. Storley. What May have in store for us, we'll find out here as the month progresses, but it's been a great start for the month of May. How about the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup semifinal with Columbus Crew taking down Monterrey. Aiden Morris with a goal, Diego Rossi with a goal. How about the 2022 Next Pro MVP and champion, Jason Russell Rowe, finishing the game off with a goal. Also scoring in the first leg. You look at Patrick Schulte, the best goalkeeper of the year in 2022, helping Columbus Crew. NFC looking to add to their total. You see the pathway here building for all these clubs throughout the league.
Substitution in the 74th minute for the Real Monarchs. Leaving the match, number 47, Damian Barker-John.
So Barker-John will head off.
Number 77, Owen Anderson.
Owen Anderson also heading off.
Entering the match, number 39, Aiden Hezerkani.
Aiden Hezerkani will come in.
Also, number 70, Sebastian Hofra Solis.
Sebastian Joffrey will come in as well. Joffrey in, Anderson out. And then Hezerkani in. And Barker-John will also go off. Rivera goes inside. Kaliskin for Bell at midfield. Over to Rivera. Denied by Nixon. Storley. This portion of the match is brought to you by Zion's Bank, official bank of Real Monarchs. The sun has set in the Beehive State, a late start to this game. It's been a thrilling game so far here as we have 15 minutes remaining. I have to wonder here if Real Monarchs can find that equalizer. They went into the half trailing 2-1. Got a goal back by Redzik. Then Evans in the 58th minute would score for LAFC to extend the lead back up by 1. Redzik has now subbed off for Real Monarchs. Look back at the foul. Musto. Musto taking a look, seeing where he wants to play this ball. Directs traffic, sends it in. Played, and that one, last touch by Storley, no. Here's Storley. Rivera. Rivera came on here in the second half for the goal scorer and Tommy Silva. Silva got things going in the 10th minute for Real Monarchs. Bell. Rivera. Jacqueson. Jacqueson wanted to link up right there with the substitute, Joffrey. Farnsworth. Rivera in the channel. Maybe here a chance. Shot blocked aside, but a good look right there. As Hezerkani That was the player that got the shot away, who just subbed on. Coming into the week, we had 2 undefeated teams, but Chicago falling to New England, so just the one now in North Texas. Do have 3 winless teams right now here in MLS Next Pro in Houston, Huntsville, as well as Carolina Core. So they'll have to wait for match week 9 to try to get that first win. Meanwhile, right now, Real Monarchs looking for their 3rd win and back-to-back wins of the season for the first time if they can equalize and get another goal. Meanwhile, LAFC 2, a chance to go top of the table in the Western Conference if the scoreline does hold. It would also be their 3rd straight win. Musto looking for Nixon, able to keep it in play, and then it rolls out. Bell. Storley, the center back moving up. Storley will now turn away and retreat back to his center back position. Kalskin. Joffrey. Farnsworth. Kalskin. Chance here on the edge of the area. Little step over. Fans, don't miss out on Salt Lake's next broadcast here on MLSNextPro.com on May 8th when the Monarchs take on the Dynamo Dos at Zions Bank Stadium at 10 p.m. Eastern. Farnsworth. Rivera. Nixon on him defensively. Rivera to the end line. Keeps it in play. Monarchs controlling possession here in the attacking third, just not creating any shooting opportunities. Find a way here to challenge Ochoa. He's made a couple of good saves here tonight for LAFC 2. Boysa. Hits off Bell, headed away by Bombino. Joffrey. Hezerkani. Bell. LAFC wanted a handball, didn't get the call. Jacqueline with the right foot, curling, tapped over by Ochoa. Beautiful shot, better save by Ochoa against his former club. Great strike there, Ochoa up to the challenge to make the save. He's had a couple of diving ones, and there he pops it up and over the crossbar. Inward swinging ball, near post. Nixon over to Musto. Off of Storley. Farnsworth. Here's Rivera. Musto. Looping ball across. Bowo will run out of room. Via. Jacqueline. Jacqueline with the right. Week 9 of MLS Next Pro kicks off this coming Wednesday. Don't miss Atlanta United 2 versus Carolina Core FC from Fifth Third Bank Stadium, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on MLS Season Pass. Rivera at the halfway line. Via. Back to Storley. LAFC2 looking for their third straight win. They beat Timbers 2 by a score of 2-0 and Ventura County by a score of 2-1. Trying to get another one on the road. Only loss for LAFC2 this year coming against Tacoma Defiance. They were shut out in that game by a score of 2-0. Win tonight will also put them top of the table in the Western Conference, but Bell and company hoping to change that tune. Via. Pop over looking for Jacqueline. And then a push from behind by Jacqueline on Nare. Solid game from Nare, the center back for LAFC2. With the captain's armband. This start of the season for him. Grew up in the academy right here with Real Salt Lake, playing for the Monarchs and then for the first team as well. And a big save moments ago to keep this game at 3-2 against his former club. Bell out wide. Cross back, intended for Jacqueline. And a collision in the box. Jacqueline, the player to get up, and it's Nixon that's on the ground right now for LAFC. Take a look back at this collision. You can see it was on the follow-through on the shot attempt that hit the backside of Nixon's legs. Nothing intentional there by Jacqueline. And he's going to get the yellow card. The Monarchs tonight without Omar Alba, who had the 2 yellow cards in last week's game.
Yellow card caution, Real Monarchs.
That resilience, Real Monarchs to hold on to get the win, 1-0. Trying to show a little resilience and grit here tonight at home to get back into this game. more home game here for Real Monarchs before they go on the road. They will host Houston, then on the road taking on Ventura County. Second of 3 home games here tonight. Go back to that game against Vancouver. It was an own goal that ultimately helped give Real Monarchs the 1-0 lead. They struggle scoring goals, but tonight with 2, first time a player for Real Monarchs had scored a goal since March 27th. Trying to find that 3rd goal now. Meanwhile, if LAFC can find one more, that would put this one away. Bell. Nice little drag and go right there by Bell, and he's knocked off the ball. Coming back defensively. Flores scored the opening goal for LAFC too, and they're coming back and playing deep defensively. Shot from long range, Curly, what a save by Ochoa! Full tilt! Well, Joffrey just tees this one up in a brilliant save by Ochoa.
There will be 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes.
Maybe a chance here for LAFC now to close it out. Evans has it right now with a ball played and flicked away by Farnsworth, but Evans has it right now with a game-winning goal here on the road for LAFC. Nice ball played in. Farnsworth, though, outstretched. Couple different runs on the near post as well as back post right there for LAFC too. Two minutes of stoppage time, so we're in the final minute here. LAFC looking to control possession as they try to run out the clock. Real Monarchs are going to need to push up here in the dying moments. Nixon goes up, wins the ball. Nixon back post. Maybe a chance here late, the chip over and goes off target for LAFC, but that would have put it away. Great look there by Flores. Nice job bringing it to his left foot. Sends it up and over and just into the side of the webbing, but is deflected away. That's not deflected, that might be a brace for Flores, but Flores and company go on the road and they get their first win away from the City of Angels as they have their first win on the road and improve to 5 wins on the season as they now sit atop of the table here in the Western Conference in a game that did not disappoint. Tonight's man of the match is Matt Evans of LAFC, and it's presented to you by Adidas. The sub comes on, and he would be the difference maker. Another long ball over the top, finding Evans, and just goes up and over Mackey as Evans closes out this game for LAFC, his second goal of the season for the 17-year-old to put LAFC on top against Real Monarchs. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Josh Toll. Once again, our final score is LAFC 3, Real Monarchs 2. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Thank you and good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.